The next place that I would go to in terms of thinking about how to arrange this is, how am I going to present this A section the way that works best for this piece of music? I'm going to go back 4 bars to the moment at which all of this stuff drops. The drums kick in, the vocals. It's where it achieves its most fullest state as a song. I'm going to go back 4 bars so you can hear what leads up to it. That moment right there, to me, is the apex. That's the reveal. It is the moment of peak emotional content. When I think of a reveal, I think of a moment in the song that is its most precious gem. And my job is to make that gem, to put it in a context that makes it its most shiniest, beautifulest thing it possibly can be. You would never go to a magic show and expect a magician to just rush out on stage and give you his most, impressive trick. And you would never go to a comedy show. You'll never see Dave Chappelle run out on stage and hit you right away with a hilarious joke, because both of those disciplines recognize that context is everything. So when you present it and how you present it is literally going to dictate how people react and resonate with the song. I'm going to work on the intro up to this moment, because that is going to be the hardest nut to crack for me, is how do I get to that reveal? The title of the song is called Smoke and Mirrors, and part of that is that there's some, what I would you call maybe auditory sleights of hand that are happening. And one of them is when the drums and the loop and the vocals all come in together, to my ear, it creates a little bit of an auditory sleight of hand in which you think that they're all coming from the same source, that they're all part of the same record. And that's because I'm not slowly introducing them, the elements. So if the drums came in 8 or 16 bars before this, you would hear the drums as a separate part of the song. What I really am trying to create from the very first second of this piece of music is a sense of anticipation. I want to give away as little as possible. So the first sound that you're going to hear in the song is really just, it's a section of, it's this. And all that is one chop from this loop, and it's the filter. I'm holding down the note repeat. It's basically, if you were to slow it down, it would be just one little chop going, and it would be going da 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 da. But if you shave off that attack, so instead of it going da 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 da, it's going wah 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 wah, and they're playing over each other. The attacks are being shaved off, so you don't have silence. It almost becomes a bit of a drone, basically. Now, if you listen closely, there's a filter that's sweeping up and down. So it's instead of it going ah, it's actually going ow, ow, ow. And that's done in the MPC just by using the note variation slider. And I'm just sliding it up and down and just creating kind of a back and forth high pass filter sweep, if you will. So you just have what's basically a drone. And slowly creeping into that is a guitar pass, just a real slight guitar chink. So at this point in time, we only have one note is being played. There is nothing that would constitute a melody or a chord change. And this is because I want to reduce this down to the simplest thing possible. All you really know at this moment is you have an idea of the tempo and the key. And that's it. And there's one note. It's just the tonic. There's a guitar note thing that happens underneath the vocal sample that, because it would happen right underneath the vocal phrases, and I couldn't remove it by chopping it out. My trick here was to find that same guitar note later in the source material, isolated by itself, and then introduce that before you hear the vocal sample. So this guitar passage right here is created out of some guitar chops that are from the same source material as the vocals. And they foreshadow what's happening with the vocals. Now, again, with the idea of it being, the title Smoke and Mirrors, is that because your ear is already hearing the guitar by the time the vocals come in, you automatically assume that it's its own separate sound, but it's not. It's a thing that I couldn't remove from the vocal sample, and thus, again, I kind of had to play a bit of a game of psychology by introducing it first, so you just make an assumption that it's still in there when in fact it's not. Subscribe to soundfly.com for this course and all of their creative music courses.